All right, hey, good morning everybody. Welcome to today's session. I'm really excited to be here. My name's Countess, and I'll tell you a little bit more about me in a few minutes. Welcome to this session. This is called Supercharge Your Marketing with Facebook, the most popular social media network in the world. And also we'll cover a little bit on email marketing too. Hey, this webinar is a really special event. We had originally planned to hold this in Sumter County, but of course, as we all know, we're at shelter-in-place time. And so Barry Black, the organizer from SCORE, and I talked and said, you know what, why don't we move this online? And let's do it as a complimentary event. You know, doing these online webinars is new for many, many people. And so we thought, let's go ahead and let's take advantage of technology and make this an event that everybody can enjoy right from the comfort of their home. Maybe you're out by the pool, for all I know. Hey, I just wanted to mention that SCORE, the sponsor of this event, is a national nonprofit arm of the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and SCORE provides free confidential business mentoring to help entrepreneurs start and grow their business. So their website, the local SCORE chapter website, is midflorida.score.org. midflorida.score.org. And at the end, stick around to the end because we will be presenting a survey. We'd love to get your feedback and find out what you thought about this event. So I'm seeing the room filling up very nicely. I see some names I recognize, and it's great to see you all. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, welcome. I'm really delighted you're here, and I'm sure that the Mid-Florida SCORE chapter really appreciates your participation and your attendance. And I hope this is, if it's the first online event you've attended, I hope it's the first of many. And if you've been here before, I hope you'll sit back and enjoy this event as well. So once again, this is Supercharge Your Marketing with Facebook, which is the most popular social media network in the world. And we'll talk about email marketing, which is the marketing tool that gives you the greatest return on your money. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. And by the way, I'm going to encourage you to take notes. I'm going to go through this somewhat quickly. Normally, this is a class that I teach for an entire day. And we're going to do quite a bit over about a 70-minute period or so. So take notes. Make sure you jot down some questions, or you can throw your questions in the Q&A boxes. But also, have your phone handy. If you have a smartphone, and you probably do, keep it handy because I'll have a couple of slides that you'll probably want to take a picture of, one of which is a way to join my marketing mailing list. When you join our list, that'll give you a chance to get access to some weekly information that I send out. And also you'll be able to more easily get access to a replay of this event. So to get access to the replay of this event, you want to go to bit.ly/score-event, all lowercase. So this is one you might want to take a picture of or write it down. I'll leave it up for just a minute. And this will, once again, give you access to a replay of the event, and then you can also join our list. So bit.ly/score-event. All right, let's go ahead. By the way, when you do that, this is the form, whether you're on a desktop or a smartphone, that's the kind of form you'll see. It's very quick and easy to fill out. So let's go ahead and get started with Supercharge Your Marketing. I want to ask you to think about this. What is your vision of success? What do your customers need to do in order to make you successful? Maybe they, when things are normal, whenever normal comes back, maybe they visit your retail location. Maybe they place an order with you online. Maybe they call you to purchase or book your services. Maybe they write a positive review for you. Tell their friends. Maybe they want to learn more about what you have to offer. Maybe schedule a consultation, or maybe register for an event. Which of those things are what you want your customers to do to help you be successful? So with that as an entree, let's talk about Facebook. Facebook, by the way, celebrated its 16th birthday back in February. That's hard to imagine. Facebook started in 2004. So here are a couple of other fast facts about Facebook. Over 2.5 billion people are on Facebook. That's more than a third of the population on planet Earth. There are closing in on 2 billion people that use Facebook every single day. And about 1 billion of them, a little over that, access Facebook on a mobile device, like a smartphone or a tablet. More than half of active users of Facebook are on Facebook at some point in any given day. Now, I want to put an asterisk there. Yes, they may access Facebook at some time during the course of the day. But what you do need to recognize is that if you posted something, let's say you posted something 2 hours ago at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time, your viewers may not see those posts at all because they may not log in. So just be aware of that. They're on there, but not necessarily scrolling through their entire feed. So what does all this mean about Facebook? It's the place that we go to get connected, especially now, especially during this pandemic. Hey, my name's Ken Countess. If we haven't met before, it's great to see you. Actually, I don't see you, you see me. It's great to meet you. I've got 40 years as a marketing veteran, and I'm in my 20th year helping businesses just like yours grow. And before becoming an independent consultant 10 years ago, I spent over 25 years as a senior marketing executive at 3 pretty big Fortune 50 companies. Motorola, Marriott, and Caremark CVS. I'm managing director of the Countess Group. Actually, in 2 days, we celebrate our 20th year in business. We're helping businesses just like yours gain an unfair advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do targeted marketing. And over the course of my career, I've worked with startups and Fortune 50 companies and everything in between. I have an ask of you, and this is the only thing I'm going to ask of you during this session, of course, aside from participating and asking questions and certainly filling out the survey at the end. But my ask of you is simply this. When you receive an email from me or you see a social media post, please share it with your friends and family and colleagues. Help them learn what you're learning today about how to market your business. There is so much to learn, and so many of us don't even know where to start. So you'll be doing them a big favor by sharing the information, and please like my social pages too. All right, so let me ask you this. Who uses Facebook? Do you know? Well, here's what it looks like. 39% of Facebook users are under age 26. All right, 39% are ages 13 to 25. 61% are over age 25, and the chances are pretty good that that's your primary target. But I also don't want you to discount this big number of people under age 6 who are on Facebook, because they are influencers. They influence their moms and dads and grandma and grandpa and other people they know. So while they may not have the buying power that people who are a little bit older have, they do influence what goes on in those households. They are your customers. All of them are. So what's Facebook used for? It's used for finding customers, but more for having customers find you. You want to keep them engaged so that you can sell your products and services. So let me ask you this. Is this you? Maybe you created a Facebook business page, but you don't know how to make Facebook work for your organization. Or maybe you put that Facebook page out there and nobody knows about it. Or maybe you don't have the time to do Facebook marketing and all the other marketing stuff that you need to do. Or maybe you just don't know what to post on Facebook or how often. Or maybe you're not getting worthwhile results. If that's the case, for any of these, if any of these fit you, you're in the right place. I'm going to teach you how to get better results out of your Facebook activity. Now, the question often comes up when I teach these classes is, should I have a Facebook page? What about my Facebook personal profile? Should I have a group? Pages are the best way to market your organization. And I'll use the word organization as a catch-all. You may be a for-profit business, you may be a not-for-profit business, it could be any number of things. But pages, company or business pages, depending on your vernacular, those are the best way to market your organization. Why? Because they're public and they're easily shareable. You might set up a group and it might be a secret group or a private group. It may be something that people can't find easily. With pages, you can run promotions that are open to the public. And you can access statistics on pages that you can't find on the other types of pages that you can have on Facebook. So you can tell who's interacting with your page. I'm going to give you some specific examples of that in just a few minutes. The other thing I want you to know is that you have to start by going beyond just posting on Facebook, because just posting on Facebook is not the same as marketing on Facebook. And you may say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, it's important to know that on pages, and specifically company or business pages, fans matter. Your goal is to get as many fans of your page as you can. And by the way, fans are equal to likes. So when someone likes your company or business page, that's really what we're going after. 88% of people who like your page say they're more likely to buy from you after they become a fan of your page. And 85% are more likely to recommend your business to other people after they become a fan. So once again, the goal is to get people to like your page. Make them your fans. Here's the unfortunate truth about Facebook pages. When people like a page, almost always they don't come back. They never revisit that page. So you may think, well, why in the world would I then want them to come and like my page? Well, the reason is that when they do become fans, then the content that you post on your company page can show up in their news feed. And that's really what you want. You want your content showing up on their news feed because it makes it very easy for them to share your content with their friends and family. And by the way, the number one reason that people like a page is so that they can get access to discounts and promotions and exclusive content. So entice them to become a fan. Offer them an incentive to like your page. Facebook, by the way, makes decisions on what shows up in people's news feeds. And it comes back to this notion of relevance. Are you relevant to your fans? When you just post something on your page, just a text post, only 2% of your fans will see it. Facebook says, you know what, if you're just posting text, people aren't really going to be interested in it. So they only show it to about 2% of your fans. But the good news is you've got more control than you think. When you get people to like your posts, Facebook thinks, okay, you're relevant to your fan. If you get them, though, to comment and share, they say, oh, okay, you're relevant, not only to them, but also to their friends. Because when they're sharing your content, that makes you more credible. It makes your content valuable not only to them, but it makes them say, you know what, this is something I should share with my friends. So that's really excellent. What you want to do is schedule your posts strategically. Most interaction does occur within the first hour. The average lifespan of a post is less than a day. I'm going to give you a tip in a few minutes on when the best time to post is. But you do have to test. I do want to let you know that. What may work overall may be different for you. So testing is key. But you want to drive fans to your welcome page. Give them a reason to come back to your page, like a great offer or an amazing deal or some great content. Give them a reason to come back, and they will. So how do you get people to participate? Well, you can run a poll, or you can get people to comment. So in this example, hey, in honor of Oscar night, what's your favorite running movie of all time? And when this screenshot was taken, there were 89 people that provided a comment. And then get people to join the discussion. Ask them. Ask people to participate, and your odds go up that they will. And then get people to like your post. The more likes you get, the more relevant Facebook says you are to your audience. Okay? But go beyond just posting. Run a social campaign, because that will help you create new fans. It will drive existing fans back to your page so they can see your content. It'll get them more engaged with your organization, and that means more sales, more referrals, more business. So how do you create a social campaign? Well, you create a plan. Just don't do it on the fly. Decide what you want to have happen. Do you want them to buy from your store? Do you want them to sign up for an event? If you're a nonprofit, do you want more donations? Create a dynamite offer and have a very clear call to action. Tell them outright what it is you want them to do. So offers you can use in your campaigns may include printable coupons or coupons you could view on screen. Downloads, like a special report. Maybe an embedded video, a weekly special or sale, or a fundraiser. You can offer a downloadable special report. Or maybe perhaps give them a behind-the-scenes look at your business. I'm just going to move the chat box up here a little bit so I can see what's going on. All right. Get more volunteers if you're a nonprofit through a volunteer drive. Get people interested in your cause and tell them how they can help. But here's something else you should know. Your campaign will live on Facebook, but it can be showcased in other places too. You can include it, for instance, in an email campaign. You can share it on your other social media channels. And did you know that Facebook owns Instagram? That makes it very easy to share what you're doing, not only on Facebook, but on Instagram as well. And have an end date to your campaign. Don't make it go on forever. Go ahead, Barry.
Could you just click the public tab under chats? We are getting some questions.
Click the public tab. Oh, okay, awesome.
Okay, sorry.
I've done that.
Sorry for the interruption.
There we go. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Let me just take a quick look and see if there's something I can address before we move forward. Carolyn says, good morning from New York. Hey there. Let's see. Can you go out and come in? Yeah. There will be a replay. Will it be recorded? Yes. Rosemary offered up the link for signing up for the list, you can dial into here. Yeah. Carolyn says, I've heard that likes are not as important as, say, engagement. That's absolutely correct. And what suggestions, she asked, do you have for behind the scenes for solopreneurs? Great questions. I love all the questions, by the way. So yes, it's true that likes are not as important as engagement. The hierarchy is when somebody likes your page, that's step one. You know, that's kind of the good. The better is they comment, and the best is they share. What you're really striving for are shares. And in the past, Facebook would penalize you if you said, hey, share my page, share my post. They don't penalize you anymore. So it's okay to ask people to share your stuff. And what suggestions do you have for behind the scenes for solopreneurs? Well, if you're, let's say you're an artist. Actually, I have a client who is a physical therapist in New York City. And in her situation, her office, her real office, is in Midtown Manhattan in New York City. And she's working from home, as many of us are. And so what she has done recently in an email campaign, and she can also do a video on it as well, is she has provided photos of her office in Midtown Manhattan, as well as a photo of her office at home. So that's one way to show a behind-the-scenes look at what's going on. If I were to show you, in fact, I'll be happy to send a photo of what my home office looks like. What you see back here is a green screen. When I'm doing webinars on other platforms, I've got a virtual background back there. So you're getting a live look at what's going on at the Countess group with a green screen, and I just use a webcam. And I do have microphones and things of that nature. But it's very easy to show behind the scenes as a solopreneur. But in addition to that, it was Carolyn that asked the question. In addition to that, when you show a behind the scenes look at your business, from whatever angle you want that to be, it shows authenticity. It shows credibility. It shows that you're not hiding behind a microphone. It shows people really what's going on. And that's a great way to build a great following and get people. What you really want to do is to build trust, especially among the people that have not yet done business with you. So those are a few ideas for you, Carolyn, on how you might do it behind the scenes for solopreneurs. Let me make sure that I got that. We got all of them. Yeah, looks like we got all the questions so far. Yeah, you're welcome. Happy to help. So keep the engagement going by updating your fans and drive urgency. Don't let campaigns go on and on forever. It's like a sale at a store. They want to get you in at up to a certain point, right? So the sale ends at midnight on Saturday, for example, and that will give you encouragement to get there before the sale ends. And then you can increase social sharing by finding out how many people have taken advantage of your offer. Be sure that you promote your offer across all communication channels, not just on Facebook. Yes, it's true that half of people check Facebook every day, but that's not the only place they are. That's not the only place they exist. They're checking not only Facebook, but LinkedIn and Twitter and Pinterest and YouTube and their email inbox and maybe Etsy. So be sure that you promote your offer across all the channels in an email newsletter. When we get back to being able to being at physical locations, at your locations, on your personal page too, maybe in blog posts. If you have a web page, put that offer in your blog post and take out Facebook ads as well. Always encourage people who find you on Facebook to join your email marketing list. Several of the email service providers allow you to do that straight from their platform. It's called an integration with Facebook. If you need help with that, please reach out to me. It's easy to promote your Facebook page If you send me an email later in the day today, I'll send you access to a video that will teach you step by step how to promote your Facebook page. So posting on Facebook is a great way to market your business or nonprofit, but those days are gone. It used to be that posting on Facebook was simple and everybody checked it. But now simply posting something on Facebook pages provides minimal results. And it doesn't matter if it's a text, a photo, or a video. Facebook used to be free. And in many respects it still is. But we have to face it. Facebook is a business. They're in business to make money. So now, in order to get better exposure for your marketing activity on Facebook, they want you to buy ads. The good news is the ads don't have to cost you a lot of money. I'll talk about that in a moment. So how do you make money on Facebook? Well, the first thing you want to do is build a loyal following, right? Get as many people as possible to like your company page. Become a trusted source of information. Post information that your audience will find to be of value to them. And then get active with posting. Post on other pages. Take out ads. Do live video when you can. And Facebook does a wonderful job, probably the best social platform out there, for telling you how well you're doing. They're called Facebook Analytics. So among the analytics you have access to are that you can see the reach of your posts. And Facebook will tell you whether your organic posts, meaning the ones you haven't paid for, whether they're doing well or whether your paid ones are doing well. It'll even break them down for you. You can also see which types of posts are working best. These colored bars here represent posts that I did some time ago where there were either just links or photos and videos or some combination. One of the things that I really like about Facebook is that you can see which of your posts resonates with your audience more by date, by time, and by type. So, for example, depending on the type of business you're in, you may find that posting in the morning gives you the best result. You may find that posting on a weekend gives you a better result. You may find, too, that there are certain types of posts that are getting much more engagement. If you look at around the middle of the screen, you'll see that some of these posts had a greater reach than others did. If you look over one column, you'll see some of these posts had much greater engagement than other posts. So what that means for you is you want to check your analytics and see which of the posts you're doing are getting you the best result. Do more of the types of posts that are giving you a great result and do less of the things that are not giving you a good result. John asks, is this only accessible on a business Facebook account? The answer is yes. You don't get that feedback on a personal page. The highest traffic occurs midweek between 1 and 3 p.m. local time. So if you are in Florida, for instance, and I imagine a good number of people attending this live event are on the East Coast, you would plan on midweek between 1 and 3. Now, let me also suggest to you that this is in the normal business environment. Things are very different right now, of course, with so many people sheltering in place, and they're online at different times than they might normally be online. So, for instance, if you are a 9 to 5er, you go in the morning at 9 and you leave at 5, your Facebook activity may be during the midweek, midday. However, with everybody forced to work from home, maybe now instead of going into the office and being there at 9, maybe because you don't have commute time, you start your day at 7 and end at 3. Or maybe you sleep in and start at noon and work until 9. So that may shift things a little bit. the thing you need to do is test. Just continue to test and see what works best for you. Let me check. We have another comment here. I've read that with the current crisis, you shouldn't post the content type you usually do. However, I'm tired of seeing email after email or post after post about marketing during the coronavirus. I'm trying to focus on marketing your business after the crisis is over. What are your thoughts? Great question, Carolyn, and here's my answer. During this crisis, you still need to be marketing your business, right? If you pull back and don't do any marketing, somebody else is going to slip in there and create awareness for their business while you're dormant. So it's important to keep marketing your business. Now, the messaging may change, and for many people, they're getting frustrated, maybe even irritated about everybody referencing coronavirus. So stay away from that, and that will help you get more engagement because, people are getting tired of hearing COVID-19. And I'll add something else on that note, and you're welcome, Carolyn. And something else on that note is that in an email marketing campaign, for example, what's happening now, and many people don't realize this, is that so many marketers are thinking that if they put the term COVID-19 or coronavirus in their email, that will get greater attention. What's actually happening, though, is that's backfiring. It's backfiring because the internet service providers, like Spectrum, like Comcast, like AT&T, and so on, and the email service providers, from Gmail to AOL to Constant Contact to HubSpot to Roadrunner, depending on who your service provider is. They are now putting in artificial intelligence. It's called AI. And what the AI is doing is it's beginning to block certain phrases because these internet service providers, by the way, the acronym is ISP, and the email service providers, or ESPs, they're working together to try to limit the amount of spam that's being sent out by, I'll call them unscrupulous marketers, and they're filtering those emails. They may throw them immediately to a spam folder, or they may throw them immediately to a junk folder, or they may not deliver them at all. So be very thoughtful about how you do your messaging, especially now. All right, a Facebook post at 7 p.m. local time, and once again, asterisk, this is before business had to change because of the shelter in place, but to a great extent this still holds. A Facebook post at 7 p.m. will generate more clicks on average than posting at 8 p.m. So it's very time sensitive. But the good news is that Facebook will tell you what time your posts are getting the greatest engagement. The other thing Facebook does a great job of is showing you the gender and age demographics. So you can see if your audience skews male or female and what age brackets they're in. This is a screenshot of the demographics of my company followers, and as you can see, it skews 2/3 male and 1/3 female. So you females who haven't liked our page yet, go ahead and do that. Let's shift the balance here a little bit. But also, my audience tends to skew a little bit younger, 25 to 44. So what this is good for your business is helping you understand how to do your messaging. So for instance, if you know that most of your audience is female, you might change the color palette of the ads you run to attract the female's attention. The messaging may be different too, depending on your audience. If it skews male, you might use different language than female. On the flip side, in order to attract more of the opposite gender or a different age bracket, you might try testing different types of ads. What Facebook will also do is help you learn who your most active fans are. And you'll be able to see how fans are reacting to your posts. You can also use, and this gets into more advanced use of Facebook, but you can see how your posts and how your campaigns are stacking up against your competitors. In this example, I'm comparing Amy Porterfield and Guy Kawasaki, who are both very well-known marketers. So you can see the number of reactions and comments and shares and answers that are based on your posts. You can see how many views your page is getting. Here's something that I think is very, very important, and that is to understand how social media is very different from broadcast TV. It's different in that internet social media is enabling people to feel more connected to their friends and family. The purple and blue bars are showing you Facebook and Instagram, and the orange bar is TV. And so what it's showing you is that Facebook and Instagram are helping people feel more connected to one another than TV does. And when it comes to video, we love video. So much so that Facebook serves more than 8 billion video views every day. That includes Facebook Live. And if you have not yet experienced Facebook Live, it's worth trying. The great thing about Facebook Live is that it doesn't require scripting or editing. What it does do is it shows your authenticity. It shows your credibility. And don't be afraid if you stutter or stumble while you're doing your Facebook Live. Or maybe the camera's just a little bit jittery. You want the video to be as stable as possible. But it's unscripted, and people realize that. They know that you're live. You want to encourage them to connect with you when you're live. It's a great way to build a great audience. And by the way, when you're shooting video, don't be afraid to experiment between vertical and, let's use the terms in the industry, portrait and landscape. This is an ad that Facebook did about 6 months ago. And what they're saying in this ad is, when you're on Facebook, shoot portrait style, not landscape style. I'll show you why it works that way in just a minute. This is a video I shot specifically for use on Facebook. And now take a look at the portrait landscape. You see me close up. I guess I needed a haircut then too. And here's the way I looked like when I shot the same type of video in a landscape. And what you're seeing, what you're distracted by, is what's going on behind me. You don't have that issue when you shoot in portrait style. People will stay focused on you, the individual. That's different than what you might do on a place like YouTube. The other thing to know is that it's important to keep your messaging short. People will only spend about 15 seconds on a video, and they'll judge within the first couple of seconds whether it's something they really want to spend any time on. So get short and to the point. So what about ads? I've mentioned them a couple of times. Facebook ads are important to building a business. These are a couple of videos that I had included. I will share them with you if you send an email to me, and they help to articulate the importance on how to do video ads. Video ads in the news feed are something relatively new to Facebook, and what they will allow you to do is show motion in your ads. So rather than just a static image as the one you see right here, if your image is moving, people are much more likely to stop and watch and listen to what you have to market. We've done lots of case studies on Facebook advertising. In one of those case studies, we were able to generate $51,000 in sales for one of our clients, and her Facebook ad spend was $700. That's an unbelievable return. It's about 60 to 1. And it's a matter of just knowing what to do and experimenting. And the great thing about Facebook ads is this. When you run ads on Facebook, you have complete control over that ad. You determine how much you want to spend, for how long you want to spend that amount. You determine the geography. You can determine the age brackets of the people that you want to have viewing your ad. Ads really do work. So yes, while Facebook has become a pay-to-play situation, you can run ads for as little as $1 a day. And you can keep the ad scope to, let's say, within 5 miles of a certain zip code. You can target people based on age. You can target based on income level. You can target based on their interests. You've got incredible power. And when people interact with your Facebook posts, be sure you have them get added to your email marketing list. And I mentioned this a few moments ago. It bears repeating, because your email marketing list is the most valuable asset you have. When people sign up for your list, you have an opportunity to educate them, provide them with valuable information, enable them to develop trust in you. And you get that way better in an email newsletter campaign than you do in an ad that runs for a short period of time. So let me bridge into email marketing for just a moment. I call this the power of the inbox. Your inbox is super powerful. The inbox of your customers is even more powerful to you. And here's why. Email marketing is very different than people remember it from a couple of years ago, in that you can very easily create a campaign that's eye-catching, that shows your brand off in the way that you'd like it to be. You can include videos or link to videos that people can watch again and again. When you're using an email marketing campaign, you get to be in front of your clients virtually. So let me ask you this question. What is the #1 app on a smartphone? It's email. People are checking their email all the time, especially now when they have less to do, right? They're not commuting, so they have their additional time that they might be in the car or on the train. We're checking email all day. In fact, 99% of people are checking email every single day, no matter where they are. And often now they're checking it on their smartphone. The beauty of email is it gets delivered over 90% of the time, where, as I mentioned earlier, a Facebook text only gets delivered to 2% of your audience. Email has 3 times the conversion rate of social media. For every $1 spent on email, there's a $42 average return on investment. And what that means is, for many businesses, when you spend $1, you get 42 back when you do an email campaign. That is pretty impressive, isn't it? But with an email, as with anything else, first impressions matter. Would you rather get an email that looks like the one on the left side of your screen or the one on the right-hand side of your screen? Believe it or not, those have the same content. They're both from Southside Cycling. And the one on the left, you'd probably ignore. But the one on the right, you might actually pay attention to. Why regular email doesn't work is that when you try to send an email like the one on the left, using something like Gmail or Outlook, you can only send to a limited number of people at a time. What that means in plain English is that you're limited by Gmail or Outlook or other service providers, Yahoo, AOL, and so on, to somewhere between 50 and 80 emails at a time. So let's say you have a list of 3,000 people. Imagine the number of times that you would have to send that email out to reach every single person on your list. There's no formatting control. Emails like this are more susceptible to spam filters. You can't cohesively brand your business. You open yourself up to spam complaints, and you can't track how well that campaign has done. You have no access to accurate reporting. Whereas when you're using an email marketing service, your email automatically delivers your message in a great-looking template. It enables you to reinforce your brand. Subscriptions to your list are managed automatically. You don't have to manually add and take people off your list. Delivery is assured. For many of the email service providers, delivery is in the high 90 percentile range. You can track your results very easily, and of course it enables you to obey the law. What that means is that people can easily and automatically unsubscribe from your list, and by the way, there's nothing you have to do to make that happen. So I have 10 quick tips for you on how to be a successful email marketer. Tip number 1 is that 30% of email addresses go bad every year. And you may be thinking, wow, that sounds really high, Ken. Well, it is high, but it's data that's tracked. And how do you get to a number like 30% going bad every year? How many of us have changed our email service provider over the last couple of years? Maybe you've gone from AOL Mail to Gmail, or Yahoo Mail to Gmail. Maybe you've changed companies. Maybe you have moved. Maybe you have switched providers. Maybe you're not on Spectrum anymore. Maybe you use AT&T. So those are the reasons why email addresses go bad. So you need to continually grow your list. And yes, you do have to. I see a couple of more things come in here. What's my email address? My email address is my name, Ken, K-E-N, at thecountessgroup.com. K-E-N at thecountessgroup.com. Can you upload a list, Jeff asked, can you upload a list of users' email addresses to Facebook to prioritize getting an ad or a post in front of them, and if so, how? Yeah, actually, what Facebook calls that is lookalike audiences. The more information you can give Facebook about who your audience tends to be, the better off you will be, because when you run an ad, Facebook looks at that data and says, oh, these are the people that follow Jeff. They enable you, they will set up an audience. It's called a lookalike audience based on information you provide. Carolyn says most social platforms have become pay-to-play. Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. We have gotten spoiled over the years. And what I mean by that is for so long, we have had the ability to communicate with everybody free. Well, these businesses are not a charity, right? LinkedIn is a business. It's so successful that Microsoft bought it to monetize it. Facebook was free for quite a while. They're publicly traded. They have to satisfy their shareholders. The same with Twitter and Pinterest. So yes, you do have to think about the fact that they're pay-to-play. Rhonda says many like Constant Contact and MailChimp, they use pretty emails, don't always have good open rates. I get people on my mailing list saying they never received my emails that way. I split them into groups of 50 at a time. Rhonda, that has a lot to do with how you created your email. It has a lot to do with the subject content. It has a lot to do with the percentage of imagery compared to text. If you give me a call, I'll be happy to give you some free coaching. It has much more to do with the content the subject line, the pre-header text, the imagery, how much you put in the email than it does to the delivery of sending them out individually. Carolyn says you should go through your mailing list and remove any that are necessary. I would submit that what you want to do instead is to get people to interact with your emails. If they're ignoring your emails, you're not giving them the content that stops them in their tracks to make them want to open your email. Try that out. Let's see. Carolyn says, are you segmenting your list? Yes, I do. Rhonda says, I segment mine into groups of less than 50. Not necessary to do that. I have some lists that are hundreds of people, some that are thousands of people, some that are targeted to only people, for instance, who are interested just in learning more about LinkedIn. So it's not about the size of your segmented list at all. Can you please put my email address in the chat? Yes, I can do that. And talking about bad email addresses. Yeah, the systems, Carolyn, will tell you which of the email addresses are bad. And it'll make it very easy for you to eliminate them from your list. Okay, so let's move on to tip number 2. Thanks for all of that interaction, by the way. It's really awesome. And I will put my email address in the chat box. I think it was John that said that. Yes, I'll do that when we get closer to the end. And it'll also show up on one of the other slides. So here, tip number 2, write for your audience and not for you. What you need to be thinking about is if you're on the receiving end of that email, you're asking yourself, should I open this email? And what you're really asking yourself is, what's in it for me? Why should I open up that email? And so if your audience is saying, this stuff isn't relevant, they will unsubscribe. They'll unsubscribe, which is bad enough, but if they send it to spam, that's even worse. Quick tip number 3, how much is enough? I apologize for the run-in titling here because we were using a different platform before, but what it says is how much is enough and less is more. 3 pictures or less. Don't put more than 3 pictures in your email, and use 20 lines of text or less. Quick tip number 4 is be conscious about the number of links that you put in your email. 3 links is all you want to have, and even that's a lot. Now, if you are in the business of marketing a lot of stuff, let's say you're Amazon. On an Amazon email that you may receive, there are lots of links, right? You're already a customer of theirs. They know that. And they want to give you as many options to buy from them as possible. But for most of us, as small businesses, you want to keep the number of links in your email small. What this chart you're looking at is, on the left-hand side, where you see that, we call it a hockey stick, that represents an email that just has 1 link in that email for someone to click. And so the click-through rate is very high. When you add a second link, the number of clicks drops in half. When you add a third link, it drops in half again. So in order to get the most clicks on your email, and clicks are important, by the way, don't measure success based on your open rate. Measure your success based on clicks, because nobody ever made money just because somebody opened up an email. You make money when people click on your content because you know you've got them engaged. So 1 click on the email is best, 2 clicks is okay, 3 clicks, the decline starts to get pretty dramatic. I will tell you that if you do send me your email address, I'll send you a thank you for attending email today, and it will have a few more links. But they all go to places that I know are relevant to you and the reason you attended. One is to get a replay of this event. One is to go to our YouTube channel, right? So that's how we make it relevant. Quick tip number 5, images are content too. 90% of content, rather information processed by the brain, is visual content. So use some really great imagery. Make sure it's not fuzzy looking, okay? Our brains process visuals 60,000 more times faster than text. For example, look at this text slide. Look at this one. This has a visual. You're much more likely to pay attention to it, and yet it's exactly the same content. Quick tip number 6. More than a third of people open up an email based on the subject line. What I call subject lines are interrupters. What you want that subject line to do is stop your audience in their tracks. Make that subject line powerful. Quick tip number 7. Who sent it? People open up emails initially based on who sent it to them, not so much the subject line. When you open up your email inbox for the first time during the day, the very first thing you do, you may not realize this, is you look to see who sent you an email. And then you determine whether it's important enough for you to open it. But the other thing I want you to know about this who sent it concept is you want to use the same naming across all of your channels that you market. So, email, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, make sure the naming is the same, or at least roughly the same. So if your name, let's say your last name is part of your business, make sure it appears in everything that you send so people can make that association. Quick tip number 10. Keep it short. Really short. 30 to 40 characters max, 6 to 10 characters. Control your pre-header text. Quick tip number 9. This has to do with when the best time of day and best day of the week are to send your emails in a normal environment. Again, the rules are changed right now, and hopefully within the next month we'll get back to business as usual. But in a typical world, in a normal environment, generally speaking, restaurants are best off sending their email Monday morning at 7. People in the workplace are thinking about and planning with their colleagues, where do I want to eat this week? For B2B, I've labeled it accountants and financial advisors. Typically, Tuesdays in the morning are when they get the best open rates. For hospitality, it's Wednesday. For religious organizations, it's Thursday. For arts and crafts related activity, it's Friday, and so on. Your best bet is do some testing. Quick tip number 10. Don't guess. Use metrics, and know which metrics matter. Use data to make decisions. And as I mentioned earlier, focus on the click-through. So, for instance, opens, as I mentioned earlier, opens are good, okay? They're a good indicator of how well you created your email. They help gauge interest in your business. So do some testing and determine what the best day and time of day are to send out your mail. Industry averages vary widely between 8 and 28%. Depending on how well you've segmented your list, your open rates may be as high as 40, 50, 60%. On average, across all industries, the average open rate for emails is 15%. And you may say to yourself, for 15%, why would I bother? Well, think about it this way. Put yourself on the other end of that email that you sent out. How many emails that you receive do you actually open? How many do you actually read? I personally get 600 plus emails a day. That's 4,000 a week. How many do you think I read? So if I read 15% of the emails that I get out of 4,000, that's 600 emails in the course of a week I'm reading. That's a lot of reading. That's a lot of emails. So 15% doesn't have to be considered too small. But I'm giving you the tools here to help you learn how to increase your open rates. Click-throughs are what really count. They help you measure success. When people click on links in your email, you'll be able to tell which of the links worked best, what got the most attention. Industry averages for click-throughs are between 5 and 18%. And that may sound low, but those people who are clicking, that's your gold mine. Those are the people that you want to stay in touch with. You can view who those clickers are. You'll know name by name who opened it and when they opened it and when they clicked on it. So email is super, super important. I mentioned earlier it delivers a return on investment of 42 to 1. What that means is for every dollar you spend on email, you get 42 back on average. Some businesses it's a lot higher. We have a client in Ormond Beach, that's near Daytona, where before they started using email marketing, they were only using Google AdWords. And their business was flat. It was running about $50,000 a year, which isn't bad running it out of your garage, but they were struggling to find ways to increase their business. I mentioned they were using Google AdWords, and I asked them, how's that working? And they said, we're not getting any return on our money. It's like flushing money down the toilet. In 2019, after they started using email a few years back, they grew to $700,000 a year in sales, only using email. They stopped using AdWords in 2013, and they started using email marketing at the same time, and grew that first year by $250,000. Now they're at $700,000. Now, of course, your results may vary, but for them, their return on investment is 300 to 1, and then some. And so if you haven't used email before, it's very inexpensive. $20 a month to send as many emails as you want for up to 500 people. So if you're spending $1 a day on Facebook ads, you might get a really great return. $1 a day on Facebook is $30 a month. Here for $20 a month, you can start using an email campaign with no contracts. And so if you're not using email marketing yet, we represent Constant Contact, and you can sign up for a free trial, no credit card needed, at this URL. It's bit.ly/completely free trial. I have another URL that makes it even easier for you, but the bottom line is you can start with a free trial, test it out, see how well it works for you. We will train you on how to use it. And as SCORE clients, you get up to 25% off. You're considered a client just by attending this workshop. So contact me if you'd like details on that. I've got 3 things for you to do this week. It's Monday morning. I've got 3 things for you to do. Are you ready? The first one is take a look at your marketing and ask yourself, is it delivering the results you need to succeed? Number 2, schedule a free consult with me. Number 3, sign up for our webinars and our workshops. You can find all of that at thecountessgroup.com. Replays of this event, it'll probably be posted later in the day today. You can sign up for more of our events. You can get access to marketing tools like the Constant Contact free trial and some other stuff up there as well. All right, so check out our website. It's thecountessgroup.com. And join our mailing list. As I mentioned earlier, it's bit.ly/score-event. By the way, you can find a link on our website to do that too. It would be criminal of me not to have you be able to sign up for our list when you got to our website. But here's the URL that will allow you to do that. No spaces in between and all lowercase, okay? So here's what I'm going to challenge you to do in 2020. Go big or go home. Actually, you're home now anyway, right? Go for the gold. Once again, I think you should go big, and let us help you, okay? You might become our next client to 10x your sales. Give me a call or shoot me a text. There's the number. I hope you'll join me. We do have plenty of time to get into Q&A. I'm doing another webinar, by the way, at 11:30 Eastern Time. I'll show you how to sign up for that soon. But what will your 2020 look like if you don't do anything different than you did last year? So take action. Take action today. So let's go to Q&A, and while we're there, let me remind you that we do have the chat box active. My name's Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help you gain an unfair advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do targeted marketing. And we are a full-service marketing consultancy. We're 30 people with over 40 years of experience. And we can coach you, happy to do that, or we can do it for you, happy to do that too. And finally, be sure to take time to absorb what you saw, practice what you've seen today, and call if you have any questions. We'll get through this situation together by working together. So let's go to Q&A. I'll take a look at the Q&A box. In the meantime, here's how you can connect with me on social media. I hope if you're not already following me on each of these pages, I hope you'll go ahead and do that. There are 6,000 people following me on Facebook on my company page. We've got 150 videos up on YouTube. On LinkedIn, I've got 5,200 people connected to me on the first level. We're active on Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest as well. So let me leave that up there, and let me go ahead and take a look at the Q&A and chat box. Okay, let's see. All right, let me make sure I get John's request handled. Let me put my email address in there, and let me make sure the spelling is right. Spelling is right. Okay, there's my email address. Okay, so let's see. Let me catch up here. Oh, you're welcome, John. Carolyn, I love the comment. Everyone's favorite radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? Ken, are you including the link to your logo? Yeah, that was thecountessgroup.com. And do I include the links in my email? Yes, absolutely. Always have your logo linked back to your web page. And you could decide which of your web pages you want to link to. It doesn't have to be, and nor should it be, your home page, unless your home page has everything you want people to know. When I use my logo and link it in the email, I take people to either the replay page or a schedule time with me page or sign up for a free trial page, something like that. Because once they get there, if they're getting information that's valuable to them, they will poke around and they'll look and see what else is there.
Ken,
Jessica says, I'd like to receive your updates. Yeah, so Jessica, go ahead and sign up for our newsletter, and you'll get the updates.
Ken, while you're addressing the questions, I'm going to pop up a feedback survey. We'd ask people to give us feedback on this webinar if they would please do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'd love to get your feedback. What are my thoughts on free ESPs as opposed to the ones that cost money? Carolyn, my quick answer is on a free ESP, you get what you pay for. I know MailChimp has a free service. It's freemium is what they call it. And MailChimp is good. I don't want to take anything away from any other mail service. You know, many of these services have been around for some amount of time. But as I say, you get what you pay for. So, for example, MailChimp is good. They have very strict rules on what you can and can't do, and the freemium only lasts to a certain number of emails that you send. But if you need help, you're out of luck, because with MailChimp, if you need support, you have to, and you want to talk to a live person, that's $300 per month. free goes away pretty quickly. If you use Constant Contact, they have live phone support 6 days a week, Monday to Thursday it's 7 in the morning to 11 at night. I think on Friday it's 7 to 10-ish, and they're live also on Saturday. You know, for my money, if I'm really in business, I'll spend that $20. And by the way, as a score discount of 25% off, it's $15. To be able to access a person, I'd spend that money in a heartbeat. You could spend $15 or $20, you know, taking somebody out to lunch, and that's it. It's a one-shot deal. This is all the time, all the time. Tammy says, I've been marketing 40 years, and I'm very impressed and learned some things today from your presentation. Thank you. Absolutely welcome. Thank you for that feedback. Caroline, thank you. You're welcome. John says, go back to my number. I imagine that means you want to know how to call or text, so let me put that in. You can call or text on both of those. Carolyn says, when I'm asking about the links, do you include those in the number of links included in your email? No, your logo does not count as one of those links. The links are when you have down in the body of the email, if it says click here to do this, or you have a text link, those are the links I'm referring to. How does email marketing compare to texting marketing? Tom, that's an interesting question. Texting marketing is really in its infancy. It's in its infancy in the respect that people are still trying to figure it out and whether it's something they really want to do. But a lot of people find text marketing to be very intrusive, and so they tend not to like it. And so you have, while the people who like it will respond pretty much immediately, I'd much rather be in a position where I know that I'm cultivating a relationship with an individual rather than hitting them with a text that may or may not be relevant at a given time. Okay, let's see. I think we've hit all the questions. So, why don't we hang out for a few more questions? And let's see. By the way, make sure that you do fill out the survey. It's very, very important to SCORE that they learn how, you know, what are the kinds of things that are going to encourage people to use the services that SCORE provides. And SCORE is an absolutely phenomenal organization. I've been associated with them as a presenter for quite a few years, and I've gotten to know many of the SCORE staff in the greater Orlando and Central Florida area, and every one of them is outstanding. So if you have not yet used SCORE, if you haven't consulted with someone at SCORE, please do that. You owe it to yourself and your business to take advantage of what SCORE has to offer, and the services are free. All right, let's see, what else do we have here? I'm thinking that's pretty well it. Where are the rest of the survey questions? Yes, you can scroll down, and that's it. So Barry, I think that's it. Unless there's something else, I think, you know, at this point we'll say thank you everybody for attending. I hope that you'll join us again, either online or for a live event sometime in the near future. And I hope you'll join me again for one of my events. Barry, can we bring the slides back? Yeah, I think we can. Here we go. So once again, my ask is that you share my emails and my social posts and like my social pages. Later in this day, in about 15 minutes, I'm doing another live event, and that one's called The Power of Video Marketing. So go to our website, you can sign up. That's a 30-minute event. I'm doing 30-minute events that are free every day, 7 days a week, from now until the end of April. My goal is to help all of us get through this situation that we did not expect to find ourselves in. So join me for a webinar today, tomorrow, the next day, as often as you can. And then you'll also have access to our replays, which are on our website. If you can't wait for that webinar, or you can't wait for an email to come out, go on the website. It's thecountessgroup.com, and go. There's a button just below the seminars and webinars tab. That's for the replays. All right. So I think that's it, everybody. Thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to the next time I see you or you see me. Bye for now.